What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Dark Web with the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 15. What we got from issue number 1 is the beginning of the Clone Wars, having Madeline Pryor and Chasm, aka Ben Reilly. Madeline Pryor, she plans to take back everything that is hers. Ben Reilly wanting his memories back, wanting to take them from Peter Parker. The two of them are causing mass pandemonium, and they have just sent their secret weapon after Peter. That weapon being none other than Eddie Brock, Venom himself. And even though Eddie Brock has come such a very long way, especially since the King in Black, Madeline Pryor has messed with his mind, sending him down a more primitive-like state. The only thing on his mind is eating the brains of Spider-Man. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into part 2 of Dark Web, we are in the midst of New York City. Right now, we have everything that is coming alive, from gargoyles to baby strollers. This is all because of Madeline Pryor, as baby strollers are trying to eat babies, gargoyles taunting and teasing people. That is where we have the arrival of the lethal protector, the one, the only Venom, as Venom picks up the baby and he kisses it on the face, saying that these people have nothing to fear, though they do confuse him with Spider-Man. He lets them know that if you do see Spider-Man, to tell him I am coming to eat his brains. That is what picks us up with Spider-Man. At this point, he is not having a great day. New York City has become possessed. The last time this happened, the X-Men had stepped up and they were the ones to fix this. But Peter Parker had just left them at the Rockefeller Center, and right now they are not doing well. But Peter is trying to get across town. He is trying to get to Norman Osborn. Norman had sent a broken distress call, and so as Spider-Man swings his way through the city, by the time he gets to Norman, this is where we see Chasm. He is standing over the Gold Goblin. Now this is Peter learning that Ben is still alive. This whole time he didn't know where he went or what happened to him, with Ben insisting that he go by the name of Chasm. Peter is immediately so glad to see him, saying that he knew he was alive, that he could feel it, and asking if he is okay. That is when Chasm lets him know that he doesn't understand what is happening, that Peter Parker threw him away, but he is back to take the life that was stolen from him. And this whole city, it is going to suffer until he gets what he wants. This is when Peter Parker finally starts to put it all together, that all of this is linked to him. It is all linked to Ben Reilly. And while Spider-Man, he sits here and he does apologize to him, saying, I'm sorry for what has happened to you, but this is something that we cannot let happen. Before this conversation can get any further, that is when Venom comes into play, grabbing hold of Spider-Man, Chasm getting back to work. Spidey is trying to talk to Venom, trying to talk to Eddie Brock, but right now, Eddie Brock is not home. They are Venom. Peter trying to figure out what is going on, what has gotten into Venom, and why does he sound so much dumber? To be honest, Peter is in a state of disbelief, unwanting to believe that this is Venom, that we have backtracked to this point where Venom just wants to eat his brains. That is what all of this is about, at least for Venom, as Peter punches him in the face. We see Chasm gathering a whole bunch of items, having the lives of 6 bleeding ones, a binding tomb, and a bunch of other artifacts. That is where we see the arrival of Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel horribly giving away her identity, more or less, or at least giving away the fact that her alter ego just so happens to work here and be friends with Peter Parker. But before Miss Marvel can get even an inch closer to Chasm, we see a wall go up, with Chasm reading from the binding tomb. Instantaneously, we see Miss Marvel disappear. disappear, not knowing where she went. We pick back up with Venom and Spider-Man during their fight, with his Spidey sense just not working. Not against Venom. He is realizing that he probably relies on it just a little bit too much, as he recalibrates his fighting style, with Venom throwing him around like a freaking rag doll. Spidey decides that it's probably time for him to run, regroup, and try to figure out what he is going to do next. That is what picks us up with Jonah, after he just witnessed a yellow cab shiv an Uber over a passenger. He says it's official. Christmas is canceled, with New York going straight to hell. This is going to be one heck of a story. As he goes into his office, that is where he sees Chasm, sitting, waiting, with Spider-Man swinging through the city, grabbing hold of a lighter and magazine. He gets enough of a lead on Venom. Taking the opportunity, he lights that on fire. Not really sure what is going on with Eddie, but all of the same tactics, they still work the same. This gives him the opportunity to lay one right across Eddie's face. Peter does recognize that Eddie looks very odd. He almost looks plastic. Not even sure if there is a human being underneath there, or just a bad memory. That is where Madeline Pryor shows her face, with Spider-Man recognizing that she looks so very identical to Jean Grey. But Madeline does stop him before he is able to say Jean's name, saying that if he does say her name, she would have to take his mouth. She tells him to forget that they were here, that they are doing secret work, and that work requires Eddie Brock. Spider-Man letting her know that you can't take Eddie. He is quite unhinged. He is literally out here trying to eat brains. And while she will agree with him that he has become very unhinged, there are bigger things at play. He has bigger things to worry about. That is where we see the return of Chasm. Now that he is upgraded, having a new power set. Now that he has finished what jobs and chores he planned to do, what comes next is Chasm versus Spider-Man. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This one is slightly moving the plot forward, but not drastically, in very small and delicate ways. This whole purpose of them coming to the surface, it wasn't to attack the treehouse, not just yet, because Madeline Pryor is helping her constituents really do what they want to do, and then in turn, they are going to help her. We can assume that Miss Marvel and Jonah Jameson, they are both still very much alive, but more than likely they are being held captive in limbo. After what Peter had said about Venom, it has me thinking, was she able to clone Venom? Was she able to clone a symbiote? Is this a bad memory that has been brought to life? We have still yet to see what is actually going on. Madeline Pryor not giving up anything that she actually has planned. All we know is that there is something inside the X-Men treehouse that she truly does want. But she has made her first move. The game has begun, and this is only the beginning. So let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything going on with this story, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything happening with Dark Web. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.